spoolie boy, wheel spinning, time attack, cheeky MX-5, fill the gaps, V8 powered, wide arches, very bold. That's not an SR20. Hi, I'm Adam C and welcome to Yakushi show, which is a specifically Japanese car show. So, I've brought my Japanese car, the 350Z with the broken roof, and I've parked next to another 350Z. Oh, what's that coming over the hill? Is that a Supra? Also on the hill is this RX-7 that is entering the show and shine section. Yes, I didn't mention I'm in the show and shine section, which is the exact reason why the car is dirty. Well, it looks clean there, but it's dirty, trust me, I know. There you go, look at the roof. So I will be showing and not shining as a result, but we've got quite a few other 350Zs rolling in, one of which sounds like it's got 2 more cylinders than it should do. And check out the exhaust on the MX-5, it's almost a Buzazuku style right there. And you may have noticed this S15 in the background, which is presenting all of its lock. You can see exactly how it works. We're hoping not to see any handbrake failure today, so we may as well capture arrivals as they're all coming in. So we've got this really nice R33 GTR with an MX-5 behind it. Yes, that is a Mark 1 MX-5. You can see where the old pop-up headlights used to be. It's got the classic style front end on it with the P700 headlights. The rear end of the MX-5 has differed from original as well, so it definitely looks more classic than the standard one. We've got the starlet going into the campsite, so this is a large 3-day event with camping, so there will be JDM Japanese cars all over the campsite that we shall have a little look at later, just next door to the spoolie boy with the Supra attached to it. One more of the many 350Zs has just arrived with a Mark 5 Blupra behind it. And next up we have the charged S2000 arriving with its triangular exhaust. We saw this at a recent Max Power show, really fitted in well there. So it is a moist field we've got, so there's been a few wheel spinnings and a few scrapings due to the static low-mobiles. There is something going on at Silverstone. That'll be the wasps you can hear. And I know it's early on, but we do already have a chance for a game of what's inside your car. On today's episode, we have a dinosaur that's actually a penis. A penisaur? I want to go and say it's like a metaphor for human evolution, but no, it's just a dinosaur that's been molded into a penis.
It's a Penisaurus Rex.
A Penisaurus Rex. I'm definitely missing a trick. Well, I'm missing a cloth, that's what I'm missing, because so many of the people are shining up their cars for the show and shine, and I'm just kind of on the end in my slightly dirty state. You could eat a 4-course meal out of the engine bays of some of these cars. I'm playing a game with myself called Spot the Dirt, and it's tricky. So whilst cars are still coming in, people are still cleaning up their cars, I think it's time to have a look in the campsite, which is one of the most unique parts of this show. The fact that people have chosen to camp here with their Japanese cars. So we get to see cars in different environments. We've got some cars heading into the show and shine section. Last year I came here in my Cobra, which isn't strictly Japanese, which is not Japanese at all, and I parked in this field with the rest of the Japanese cars. You may have remembered the video. This year it is slightly different with the campsite. So we've got the Cornish JDM yellow Lexus IS. And further up, whilst the MR2 is manoeuvring, there is a bit of a boosted barge, this Nissan Laurel. This is such a JDM spec. We got the dark, I don't know if it is black or like a really dark purple, and then the golden pinstriping all the way down the side and through to the front, matching the golden BBSs. That is a beautiful car, and it is manual, which suggests maybe a bit of skidding. Well, not with those tyres. And the Laurel is neighbouring a green 350Z. You've got the golden wheels on the Z as well. That's a green that I haven't seen. What's strange though is all these cars parked here without owners suggest that there's still people sleeping in their tents. And on my Lord's timepiece, you can see that it's 10:30 at the moment. And you can get this at lordtimepieces.com using Adam10 for 10% off if you want to tell the time to wake up in time for a show like these guys. It appears we've missed a pretty cool party with an S15. So you're partying with your car in the tent with you, and it's a Varietta, a convertible. It's got the electric folding hardtop, which you could put down because you have a roof above your heads, but it's up at the moment. This Nissan Cube has teddy bears for wheels. This one's got a lot of blood rushing to its head, so oh, this makes it even worse. And beyond the hatchbacks, within this section, we have a pair of Mark IV Supras. We have HKS neighbouring a red Supra, and a pair of MX-5s. It's fairly obvious to see what these MX-5s get up to in their free time. This one's not got any kind of grille within the holes of the front bumper. And we have another boosted barge, this one a Toyota Mark II in between the Starlet and the EP3 Type R. We have another barge in the form of this Toyota Crown. I won't get too close because they're probably still getting changed in their tents next to the turquoise Civic. So right at the top you can see more of the extent of the night that people have had. Luckily they're quite tidy, as are their cars. People are just clearing up from their breakfast behind the R33 GTR and the Nismo Duke. And beyond the Z and the Sora, we've got a honeycomb effect on the non-Japanese Seat and the non-Japanese Mercedes. This is a pair of road legal race cars. They both have number plates and they're both definitely suited for the track. The Civic only has one seat and the bumper is properly massive on this Civic. We've got the wide arches too. And if you come around the rear, we've got a parachute as well. And this is neighbouring a micro track car, which is more stickered up. So it does compete in the Time Attack series, and as a result, it is also supercharged in the little micro. And the Civic's bonnet has now been opened too, so we can witness the spoolie boy and the large exhaust. Well, I say large, it's large in diameter, just not in length. So we will head down beyond the GT86 to a Supra lineup. So the Supra Club have all camped together overnight and parked all their cars in almost a straight line. Right at the start we have one coloured Supra, this one red with the carbon fibre headlights and some golden wheels. We've got some graphics on the silver example, Dragon Ball 15. Neighbouring a carbon effect bonnet, we've got a Veil side bumper, I believe, on this Supra in the lineup of 4 black Mark IV Supras. And also behind the lineup of Supras, someone has brought a teepee along. So it is nice and unique, having a bit of a car show within a campsite with some motor bicycles making some sounds in the background, and a lineup of Mazda 323. So 3 of them have their bonnets open. I don't know much about them. They're just very quirky little Japanese cars that you rarely see anymore. And this one's got almost like what's a Mazda Speed rear spoiler, but resembles the Cosworth spoiler in such a way. And we've got some last minute tweaks taking place on the cheeky MX-5 with the googly eyes on the front, which is next to a green Celica which begins an MX-5 lineup. Well, it's kind of interrupted with the Celica and the Mazda, but we've got the Mark III MX-5. The Mazda's got some petals on the side of it too, along with the big Lexus and the little Daihatsu Copen. The Mark III MX-5 also starts a sticker showcase. I rust easily. And opposite the kind of MX-5 section, we have Toyota Mr. 2s. And this one is advertising his services to all of the happy campers to make them even more happy campers. And this MR2 has no turbo and no lag. Unless, of course, it does have a turbo, which it does. So the joke doesn't quite work, but you get it. We've got the 350Z next to another Mr. 2 with the forbidden bear on its headlight. And a seductive girl, or a busy seductive girl. I'm liking the awning on this as well. It's like a massive tent, but it twins with the van. And talking of vans, there is a whole selection of motorhomes, JDM motorhomes, right at the top. So Nissan Elgrands, etc. So I think the Elgrand is the way to go at this JDM show. That one is a lovely shade of maroon. Oh, he fell over. Is that Elvis on the bonnet? I don't think I can get too close to these, look at them in too much detail, because there might be some naked people sleeping in the back of the Elgrand. You see, there you go, there's the bed. Hush hush. This Japanese section is actually predominantly for Hondas, it seems, other than the orange Lexus. And you'll notice this Civic Type R is actually a Ferrari F40, and this Civic Type R is actually a Lamborghini Aventador. We've got the green Lexus IS with the Land Rover Freelander wheels next door to a CRZ who proclaims to be a neck snapper, which is also supercharged. And finally a couple more S2000s. This one seems to have just had some wide arches put on it and they haven't yet finished the fitting, so they're not yet in the show and shine section, unless maybe the side skirt fell off. It's got a whole new front end as well, so if you come around here you can kind of see what it's going to look like once they fill the gaps. But remember, if the tents are rocking, don't come a knocking. Not that you can knock on a tent. So that was the campsite at the Yakushi show. Some of the cars have since gone into the main show to do a bit of show and shining. So as you can see, they have since closed off the show and shine section due to the amount of cars that are within, including this old Skyline. This is an R30 generation Nissan Skyline. It's finished in Nardo grey and apparently has a turbocharger from a tractor. And behind the R30 we have another Nissan Laurel, this one a Datsun variant, the Datsun 200L Laurel. We have another Nissan L Grand with a seat facing the wrong way. These are all on rails so you can twist them around and move them how you want. And you'll also notice this blue Toyota Supra with Golf stripes up the bonnet, including a plush toy with Golf stripes up the bonnet. We've got the MX-5 with her best friends on the wing with a pink love heart steering wheel as the S15 Varietta leaves the campsite to come back into the campsite because the show and shine section is full. The 350Z is held up by a bat, but not the kind of bat that's caused a pandemic, and you'll notice there's a distinct lack of white chasers, which is a shame because everyone loves the white chaser. So all the cars are all parked up with each other at the top of the show and shine section. We've got two 350Zs who are facing each other. So in this lineup of 350Zs, we've got blacks and greys with their details, we've got rose gold, we've got orange, and further down here, the bonnet is up of the V8 powered 350Z. So it's got the 454 cubic inch Chevrolet LSX inside a 350. And beyond, you will also notice a very stripped out 350Z. One would say is a bit of a drifter. We have another EP3 Type R and a blue Spec R S15 right by the lake and the noisy waspy bikes. Seems like I'm not the only one who didn't get the show and shine memo. The thing with car shows I've noticed recently is they need something in the background. They need a backdrop. If it's just on a flat field, it's not got the good positive vibes that some other shows do. So it's nice to have a bit of water feature beyond the cars to look at as well. Now I can't verbally tell you the name of this car because YouTube might block it due to recent things that have happened in the world, but this Mark II Grande of that model looks really nice once again by the lake with its JDM number plate. So this lineup are part of the show and shine section, including the Celica GT 2000 and the RX-7 that we saw coming in with crazy wide arches, a crazy spoiler and a crazy single middle exit exhaust. We have the white R33 GTR with the carbon bonnet and the red wheels, and the Rocket Bunny 350Z in purple with turquoise wheels. We have this NSXy NSX next door to an S14 without a bonnet. He's showing off the very shiny spoolie boy. And of course you will notice that's not an SR20, it's an RB. We have the boosted Pulsar next to the Lord of the Flies. That's one drawback of having a yellow car. As much as I'd like to wrap my 350 in yellow, maybe that's a drawback. And whilst I was in the show and shine section, I saw a few more arrivals, including an R33 GTR. We've got the R34 next to the Subaru as well, and there was a white chaser. I definitely saw one, so we're going to have to be a white chaser now and find the chaser. Nismo, Japan. Whilst we were chasing the chaser, I have just been presented with a couple of toys. We've got a Chevrolet Corvette C7 convertible. He said he knows I like American cars, which I do. And then rather suitably, we have a Bayside Blue R34 GTR. And the S15 Varietta has driven all the way round from its tent down into the show to find the show's full and back up to here. But at least the roof is down. And it seems the hunt has been a success. We have found the white Toyota Chaser. This one has the TRD body kit on it. What do you think of that? Every show we go to these days has a white chaser. Do you know why? It's because everyone loves a white chaser, so more and more people are buying them. And behind the chaser we have a new arrival, which is a very bold Honda S2000, bright yellow, so the flyers will love it, and then carbon fibre on the front, so us fanboys love it, and a carbon boot lid too. But with this oh, there's a dead fish. Oh. But with this backdrop behind me, I think I'm going to conclude the video now. So just a quick tour around the Yakushi show at Whittlebury Hall. Next time I think I might go camping, because I think that would be quite fun to camp overnight with all the Japanese cars with tents and motorhomes and L-Grams and shaking tents. So I hope you enjoy that video. Go follow me on Instagram for all the updates, highlights and pictures from these events that I go to. But for now, thanks for watching. It moved. It's not dead. It's just floating. Have some of that. There you go. There we go. Lovely. I have saved his life. Well, not kind of.